Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. I want to personally welcome you to my first episode of the Genuine Glow Up with Tyffanee Chaunte. If it's not obvious, my name is Tyffanee Chaunte. So let me just get into why I wanted to start this and my goals behind the channel. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Tyffanee Chaunte. I'm the owner of a business called Granice Beauty. I'm a licensed esthetician. I specialize in hyperpigmentation, rosacea, anti-aging, and acne concerns. I also have a skincare and cosmetics line of over 70 products, all vegan, non-toxic, and cruelty-free. Let's see. I am 32 years old. I just turned 32 at the end of December. I am a mother, I'm a wife, and I am a serial encourager, which means that every chance I get, I love to encourage people like me or people who want what I have, meaning just business and everything, and show you how to get it too, because there's room for all of us to win. So those are pretty much my goals with the channel. I also want to just kind of like give like some freebies to people who are already kind of in my community through other platforms. Pretty much like just give back, because I know that a lot of the times when I'm seeing clients, they are always asking me for, advice on life advice or just, and what I've recognized is that how much the external part of beauty ties into the internal part. So my goal with the Genuine Glow Up is to tie and merge those two, because I want my girls, I call them my grin gals, I want my grin gals feeling good about themselves physically and healing and feeling good about themselves mentally and emotionally. And I just want to see a community of super strong, happy, beautiful women. So that is pretty much the goals with this platform. So today's episode is about stop dreaming and start goal setting. But before we get into those topics, I just want to get some good vibes going. So I'm going to start off with a affirmation. I'm going to start every episode with this, and this will be like our weekly affirmation thing. So today's affirmation is, my potential is endless. So I want you to say it. I want you to drop a comment in the comment section. My potential is endless. So when I picked this card out, I pre-picked my cards last night. And when I read my potential is endless, I wanted to kind of dissect that a little bit. So potential, when you look it up in the dictionary, it was pretty much having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. So the word that stood out to me was capacity. When I think about capacity, I think about how much space something can take up, before it's completely full. So I just have this cup in my content studio right now, and I just have this cup that my grandma bought me for my birthday. I love this mug. I haven't used it yet, but it's so cute. Thank you, Grandma. So when I think about capacity, I think about this cup, right? If I was to pour something into this cup, there's only but so much that I can pour into this cup before it's at capacity, So saying that like my capacity is endless is pretty much saying that I can keep pouring into this cup. Like imagine this cup to be like your capacity for knowledge or understanding or wisdom. By saying my potential is endless, I literally can keep pouring into my cup and it doesn't hit a capacity, because the capacity is endless, so that I can keep learning and keep growing and keep developing no matter what odds are stacked against me. So I think that the affirmation is extremely powerful. Another definition that I looked up as far as like capacity is existing impossibility. So it's just pretty much saying the same thing that I just said. Like, the possibilities are endless. Like, how much I can grow and learn and develop is endless. And I love that affirmation too, because I remember, like, anyone who knows me personally knows that I've had a pretty wild journey through my career. I literally was everything. But I loved everything that I did in the time that I did it. And I always kind of embodied that mindset, that my capacity, my possibilities, my potential is endless. So that's that. Another one that I wanted to do to kind of get the vibes going is I'm gonna also follow up with a self-care encouragement question, and I would like for you guys to also answer it in the comment section. So this one says, what are some things that truly make me happy, and how can I do more of these things? So let me think, because I literally just picked this card before I started the show. So this one I wasn't really prepared to answer, but I'll still answer it. What are some things that truly make me happy, and how can I do more of these things? And it's funny how these cards pretty much tie into the subject. But one thing that I found that made me happy was freedom. I feel like a lot of the things that I went through in life and, working corporate jobs and things like that made me feel like I didn't have full control over my life. And I've been in business for 12 years, but it wasn't until 2019 that I decided to go full throttle on this and do my business full time. So I literally, I was pregnant with my first daughter. I mean, I still only have one daughter right now, but I plan on growing my family. But anyway, I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was working at a job that I loved the actual job, but I hated the environment because it always called for me to just be there at all times. Like, I remember going for my first ultrasound, and it was a night appointment, and I got out of my ultrasound at 9 p.m. And when I got out of the doctor's office, I literally had text messages on my phone from my boss begging me to come back to work and work, And I felt like a lot of like my special moments, like getting married and having a baby and just enjoying my pregnancy and really just tapping into enjoying that next level of womanhood, was being snatched from me because I didn't have the freedom to make those decisions. So I fast forward to now, and I realize, like, now by me doing my business full time, that I have the freedom to literally, if I wanted to say I'm not doing any work for today, I'm gonna go have a spa day somewhere else outside of my spa or just, I don't know, take a random road trip. I literally have the freedom and the time to do that because I make those decisions here. Like, I'm literally the CEO of this. I'm the CEO of my life. I'm the CEO of my business, and I love freedom. I also love money for that reason, because I don't like to be controlled by lack of it. I like to be able to just do what I want to do. Not that what I want to do is anything crazy either, but I just don't want to be restricted to lack of resources and lack of time. So how can I do more of these things? I can continue to scale and grow my business in a way that allows me to have more time for my family, because those are the things that matter to me. My husband, my daughter, my cute little cat, everything like that. So that's that. Now, let's dive into the subject. I have like notes everywhere, so just forgive me. I just want to make sure I get like all my points to you guys. So the glow topic of the day is called Stop Dreaming and Start Goal Setting. A dream is a strongly desired goal or purpose. A strongly desired dream or purpose. Oh, goal or purpose, I'm sorry. A desire is to express a wish for. A goal is the end towards which effort is directed. Now, the part that sticks out to me, and kind of going through all those little definitions, I always like to dissect things, like break it down to its simplest terms. Effort is the conscious exertion of power and hard work, right? So the difference between a dream and a goal is like, a dream is just pretty much something that you're hoping will happen. And a goal is something that has an action plan. So really the gap between what you have and what you want is pretty much putting action into the equation. So I know a lot of people, what may stop them from taking action could be things like fear, perfectionism. And I actually did like a poll on my IG page, and I'm gonna see if I can pull those questions up on here. If not, I already answered them anyway, so that's fine. But I pretty much did like a poll of on both platforms, like on my personal page and on my business page, because I was just curious to know like what questions anyone had in regards to why they feel like their goals never work out for them, so that I can kind of help to kind of create like what we were going to talk about today. And a lot of what stood out to me is that people were saying that they will either plan so much that they don't know where to start. One person said that they will plan something and nothing ever happens by the end of the new year, which I feel like with that situation is a lack of action. Sometimes having so much stuff on your to-do list can result in no action. So we're going to pretty much talk about how you can take action. So the things that I want to break this down to is who, what, where, why, and how. And answering those 5 little questions really helped to change the trajectory of my life. So as far as who, you need to ask yourself, who do I have to become in order to obtain this goal? So anytime I've ever had things that I wanted to accomplish in life, what I would really do is to dive into the who is I literally took a notebook and I wrote down who I had to become in order to obtain these goals. So let's say that the goal is, to lose weight, since that tends to be everybody's goal around this time of the year, right? So the goal is losing weight. Who do I have to become to lose the weight? So that would be someone that goes to the gym, someone that eats healthy, someone that keeps a record of what they eat, someone that has an accountability partner, someone that has a trainer, a coach, someone who has an unshakable mind and doesn't give up very easy. So like I would literally write this stuff down. So that way when you get a day where you don't want to go to the gym, you can kind of refer back to these things that you wrote down, and you're like, oh no, I don't skip the gym because I'm tired. I get enough rest to prepare for that. Before you literally are starting, like by doing that, you're like reprogramming your brain to pretty much, you're like kind of rewiring your thought process into who you are. So it's like when you start telling yourself, that's who I am a person that goes to the gym, or I am this person, You get that so embedded in your head, you don't do anything else but what you know that you are, if that makes sense. So I would definitely get a clear picture of who you have to become in order to obtain that goal. Let's say the goal is entrepreneurship. So I would literally write, even if I don't have a business yet, I am a CEO. I am someone who is relentless about getting to this next level. Who are you? Very, very important. The next one was what? What do I have to do to obtain this goal? So we'll go back to the original example, the weight loss thing. What do I have to do to obtain this goal? I may have to go to the gym. I may have to eat healthy. I may have to, depending on how bad it is, maybe get weight loss surgery or an appetite suppressant or a nutritionist, or, you really have to take the what part. What do I have to do to obtain this goal? I think is such a key part of this also, because that what do I have to do? That's action. Those are the action steps that you need to take. So what I would do to dive in that even more, I wish I had it out, but my laptop bag is like right there and I don't feel like getting up and getting it. But what I would do is get a planner. I actually learned about this particular planner from one of my business coaches, but I use the 10X planner by Grant Cardone. And what I like about it is that it breaks down each part of the day into 3-hour increments. So the first box is like 6 to 9 and 9 to 12 and 12 to 3. Everything is like 3-hour increments. So it allows you to break down your day, like, what am I going to do in this 3-hour window? And what am I going to do in this 3-hour window? And by the time you break down your what into bite-sized little M&Ms like that, there's no way you can't digest that, I really love that planner because I noticed that even if I didn't get everything done on my to-do list, it kept me very much lined up with the, like I know by the time 9 comes, I should have already on most days had my daughter to school and either be in my content studio or in my treatment room, or just, like I know what I need to have had done by 9 o'clock. I should have already had my workout, my coffee, my breakfast, all of that. By the time 12 to 3 comes, I should have already had lunch. I should have done all of my Zoom calls that I need to do with my, different departments and things like that. So that's what do I have to do? Like, you just break it down, I even went as far as, just because I could be sometimes really, I'm not in no way, shape, or form an organized person at all. But I like to really, like, when I set goals, I really like to break it down into digestible pieces. So I like the planner idea, but I also have something that I call like my perfect, my picture perfect day. And in my phone, I have like a list of what Monday should look like, most Mondays, what Tuesday should look like, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday should look like for me. And I pretty much kind of plan my days the night before and I go based off that. So that's another way that you could do that. Excuse me. Even if you are a really, really unorganized person like myself, like I'm a very unorganized person. And we'll dive into that later in the episodes. You'll get to know me so much more. You'll see it yourself. Like I'm not, like I'm pretty much like, I have my notes here, but it's not a lot of notes. I'm pretty much flying off the dome right now. That's just how I operate. But I think that kind of goes hand in hand with that whole freedom aspect of my life. But anyway, what do I have to do to obtain this goal? Another thing that I do as far as the what that really helps me a lot is I've been doing this for like a month now. I do what I call a Tyffanee brain dump, where I'll dump all of my ideas onto a piece of paper of what I need to do for the day or the week or just whatever comes to mind, like pick up more milk for my daughter and some kombucha for later, or you know, post an ad in this group or whatever, however I structure my day. I'll do it like that. I also, like, as far as like how I promote my business, a lot of the times, my business is geared around encouragement. So I really like to connect one-on-one with women. So what I have kind of done is I found out where my ideal client hangs out at, and that's online. So I've joined a lot of like Facebook groups and different communities to try to connect with those women on a one-on-one basis. So a way that I keep up with all of that too is I have like a little board over here where it's like Monday through Saturday, and then I'll literally write what group I'm gonna focus on for that day of the week, so that I could make sure that I'm focused and I know what I have to do for that day. So that's an example of how to break that down into bite-sized pieces. When do I have to obtain this goal? Does this goal have a deadline? Do I have to lose 100 pounds in a year? Do I have to have my business up and running by the end of 2023? Do I have to have an ad launched by the end of the month? Excuse me, I'm sorry, I just had coffee and sometimes coffee makes me burp. When? So I always say, like, what changes a goal or a dream to a goal and a goal to an action step is putting a date on it, making it official. So I would definitely try to be realistic in those goals and timestamp them. If you have multiple goals that you want to accomplish before the end of the year, what I would personally do is figure out when I want to accomplish each goal, so that you're not in January trying to do everything at once, because a lot of the times, and that answers one of the questions that my followers submitted, one of my followers, but try not to overwhelm yourself all at once. A year is 365 days, sis. Like, you don't have to get everything done in January. You don't even have to start everything in January. Sometimes, like, even with my personal goals, and I don't really want to share a lot of them right now because I'm going to be going through a lot of them with you on the channel, and you'll see. I'm so excited, but a lot of them don't start right now, and I don't want to put that unnecessary pressure on myself to feel like I have to get it done now. It'll get done. I guarantee you it'll get done before the end of the year, but I may not be ready to start that particular goal right now because I'm still wrapping something else up. So put a date on it. Why is this goal so important for me to achieve? Now, getting to the why is such a key aspect of how to wrap this whole thing in. Like I told you, I've been in business for 12 years. Let me think. Yeah, 12 years. And I started this exact business in college in I think my junior year as a school project. And now it's literally my full-time bread and butter, how I feed my daughter, everything. And what had me to the place where I was able to take this to a part-time passive thing to like a full-time thriving business is really tapping into that why. For me, my why became more what's the word? My why became more important to me when I had a daughter. because it made me realize that, like, it, this was bigger than me. Number one, like, if I was to go back, if I had went back to the job that I was at, I would never ever be able to see my baby. Like, I mean, I literally, a lot of the times when I was getting out of work, she would already be in bed. And when I was going to work, we would never see each other. And that's not a healthy environment for a baby to grow up in. Every baby needs their mommy. So with this business, I literally make my own hours and everything. A lot of, I just recently came back from a leave. I took a little time off from work. I closed my business for 22 days and was still making money in those 22 days to sustain myself. I remember one of my business coaches asking us in a call, like, if you was to close your business for 2 weeks, would it survive? And a lot of people answered no. If you don't have a business that will survive in 2 weeks without you working it, you don't have a business. I mean, you have a job that you've created for yourself. And sometimes, like for me, when I tapped into why I wanted to do this, I realized that the goal was really to be able to be the best mom that I can to her while still being able to take care of the women who God ordained me to take care of. So now I also know, like, we're going through some things that I went through last year, that my why is even deeper than I thought. So never be afraid to refine that why. Dig deeper. Why is that important? Why is it important for you to be financially free or have a business? Why? Just keep asking why and go deeper and deeper with each answer. There's always a deeper answer. How will I obtain this goal? That's another action step. This one kind of ties into the what. What do I have to do to obtain this goal? And we talked about this. Action steps. Planning your day in a planner. We already talked about that. The ideal days, the daily systems, like literally, like I have my brain dump, what I need to get accomplished. I'll have my planner of what I'm going to accomplish in that day. I'm not the person that's afraid to block off time to do stuff. I will block. Nope, I can't do that. Like currently in my at my practice, I have 2 days a week where I have to close my schedule out from 2:30 to 5 to go pick up my daughter from school, because yes, I could easily hire somebody to do that or go have her grandmother do that or something like that. But my daughter literally looks forward to that time with me. So that's a time where I'll close the studio, or I'm not doing nothing with my clients. That's my boundary. And I'll pick up my daughter. We'll go get frozen yogurt or a slice of pizza or go to the park or whatever. But that's time for me and my baby. And that's a part of my daily system, is just pretty much prioritizing what's important to you and how you're going to get this stuff done. So that is my who, what, when, why, and how. Those are my 5 tips for you. So my takeaways is, who do I have to become in order to obtain this goal? What do I have to do in order to obtain this goal? When do I have to have this goal accomplished by? Why is this goal so important for me to achieve? And the most important step, how will I obtain this goal? And those are the 5 steps, and remembering those 5 steps, and that can apply to any goal you want to accomplish. That's literally how you bridge the gap between dreaming. Dreaming is where you want to be, and goal setting is how you're going to get there. That is pretty much how you bridge that gap. So I want to remind you in the comments to drop a comment. I want you to remember our affirmation of the week. My potential is endless, And then I want you to drop a comment below on what are some things that truly make you happy and how can you do more of those things. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I was so excited to get this material to you, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you next week with next week's episode. Take care. Bye.